Hello, people of the internet. I am Nellie, and I am super stoked to have a space to nerd out about paper and pens and ink and stationery and everything I love about this hobby. So this first video on my channel is going to be a walkthrough of my beloved swatch journal, where I house all of my ink swatches and writing tests. And when I'm inking up a new pen, I come in here to decide which ink I think will fit best with it. So this is gonna be a long, chatty video, which is what I like. So if you also like that, grab a warm beveragino. I've got some black English breakfast tea here, and chill out with me. And let's look at some pretty colors. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, my lovely ink swatch journal cover. Most of this decor is just ephemera from products I've ordered or storefronts that I've visited. One in particular that I love is my little Good Postage post person right here. Good Postage is my favorite stationery store in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is close to my hometown. I currently live in Wisconsin, where it is a balmy -17 degrees today. So it's super nice to be cozied up with you all chatting about stationery. So let's get into the swatches, the lovely colors, the shading, the shimmer. Let's go, give it to me now. I want more. That's how I feel about ink, by the way. My first page, oh, it's nostalgic, y'all, for real. So this was one of my first ink sample orders. It was from Vanessa, which I really enjoy doing business with, like I'm a business partner or something. I enjoy ordering from Vanessa samples. But to be honest, I was not loving, I got a random sample order, which I think was it 4 samples or no? Okay, it was 6 samples total. And I was kind of like, wow, y'all really missed the mark with this one. I don't know. The khaki black was okay. I like the shading in this, but I don't know. This color of nature, summer solstice, this tended to feather for me. I don't love a blue. It reminds me of school, like a royal blue like this. This blue Yosemite didn't cut it. It's not legible, you know? I do like these inks a lot. This was inking up one of my very first pens, which was my TWSBI transparent purple in medium nib, and I love this De Atramentis Apple Blossom. I think this is actually a scented ink, but I really don't recall it having a fragrance, a smell at all. But I really loved this, and I ended up inking this up, I think in one of my first Kakunos, and I really enjoyed it. This pink is pretty. I haven't actually inked up any of my pens with a pink ink yet, if I'm not mistaken. I love Noodler's Southwest Sunset, but surprisingly, I don't think I've actually inked that up either. And I ended up choosing Diamine Marine for this pen during this ink up ceremony, and I freaking love this ink. The shading in this is unreal. I really hope that it comes through on camera. It's got like, so a turquoise base, obviously, and then like a deeper teal turquoise shading with like some lighter yellow and green hues kind of, and then like a really light red sheen halo around the edges. And you can even tell in the writing sample, which I doubt you're gonna be able to see, but the halo really comes through with this ink, which I love. Next, we were inking up my Lamy Safari in charcoal with a fine nib. This one is super interesting. I don't know if I got like a weird sample or what. Let me know if anybody else has had this experience with Noodler's Walnut, but it like separates when I put it down for a swatch. I dropped the ink, and then I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, but it almost has the same effect as that like crackled nail polish we used when we were kids. It ends up separating into these weird like crackle patterns. It's really pretty, but I don't know if it's supposed to be like that. Regardless, beautiful. Cafe Crema, come on, give me more. Sailor Shikiori Tokiwa Matsu is freaking beautiful. This like deep sagey forest green, I guess sage is not the right color description, but like a deep tree, forest, grassy green color with like even deeper green, almost like teal leaning shading, and then this like red or burnt red, orangey, halo, sheening situation. That doesn't really come through in the writing unless you're using a super thick nib. But yeah, it's just really beautiful. And I want to use this before winter's over. I ended up choosing Cafe Crema for this inking up ceremony. This was my first currently inked. I love looking back on this. I was like so geeked out by this. I thought it was so cool. I ended up doing Chiku Rin in my Twisby Eco White Broad, which I was really excited to have a broad nib, but I don't really feel like I use it that much. And maybe I'm just not finding the right application for that nib size, but this was a pretty pairing. This I could do without. I don't know. I love purple. I'm a purple girl, but this was like flat maybe? Is that what I'm thinking? I think it was too flat. I really love shading. I really love to see differentiation in my letters when I'm writing, and this did not provide that. I almost felt like I was drawing with like a gel pen or maybe a marker, so not my favorite. Here is me listing out my current purple and blue shaders at the moment. They're all super pretty and fun to look at, but I don't really write with these that often. Honestly, I haven't inked most of them up. I have done Celadon Cat a few times and it was okay for me. My red inks, which I've really found recently that, and maybe it's the season, but I found that I really love a deep burgundy red. Amazing, beautiful. So I do use the classic Diamine Oxblood fairly often, as well as Diamine Rider's Blood. This is a super freaking wet ink, so I find that it works well in my nibs that tend to be on the drier side. Orange and yellow inks, I really love Diamine Ancient Copper. Rosie's taking a drink right now, so let's take a drink too. Ooh, that girl's thirsty. I'm so sorry if you hear a bunch of noises from her in the background, y'all. I mean, Autumn Oak is really beautiful. I actually don't know if I've inked this up much. Maybe once. I've done a lot of like experimental painting with Autumn Oak, and it has beautiful shading, as you can see from the sample. Again, Noodler Southwest Sunset is beautiful. Don't know why I've never inked it up. Maybe because I had a pretty small sample of this. This was my first experimentation with a permanent ink. So this is Diamine Forever Solar Yellow, which is supposed to be a waterproof and permanent ink. And I am curious about using some permanent inks in the future. But this stained my pen like no other. Like, do all permanent inks do that? If so, annoying. And I don't really want to put permanent inks that are going to stain my pens, especially in my pens that have a clear barrel. So yeah, the jury's still out on the permanent inks for me. Here is a collection of my green inks. I'm not super pleased with how this looks, but I'm showing you anyways. I'm being brave. People go crazy for this Wearingeul Autumn Night After 1,000 Years. And actually looking back on this sample swatch, I do really like this and I've never inked it up. I love a gold shimmer. I also really love Birmingham Pinko Sugar Kelp. Give me all the nasty, dirty, poopy, weird, green, chartreuse colors. Love this. Really weird. Oh, okay. Now we're getting into some pages that I actually really like the way my swatches look. I love this blue page where I did the little beans. I can't remember, like, did somebody originate this style? I'm sure they did. I've seen a few different people do this style on Instagram, so I'm not sure like who to credit, but if you know who to credit, tag them below. I love, surprisingly, Lamy Turquoise. I don't know what steers me away from Lamy inks. I guess maybe it's like their boring names. I don't know, maybe I'm a sucker for names, but this one I have inked up and it has amazing shading. I really love Happy Prince by Wearingeul. It's this nice, like, dusty, muted blue color, like a bluish purple color, bluish gray color with a gold shimmer. And I hope you can see some of that shimmer. Let's see. Love a blue. Love a blue. That's not a school blue. See, like, I don't feel like these, like, this is the closest it's getting to school blue, which, like, oh, it was like a Bic blue pen, you know? My purples. Boom, 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 boom. I love a purple, y'all. I have a Taxidermy Genius by Wearingeul in a pen right now, and it is beautiful. I really love the slight green sheen on this one. Also, freaking cool name, freaking cool brand. Like, I'm totally a sucker for that. I've been tempted quite a few times recently to use Fortune Teller by Birmingham Pimp Company. I like this muted, dusty purple. I just haven't ended up reaching for it. Masquerade, I want to love. This is Diamine's Masquerade, but I inked it up in my TWSBI, and it didn't perform well. I think it might have been user error. Like, I might have had the nib a little wonky from cleaning it. But it is a really beautiful, like, dusty pink color with a gold shimmer. Next, we get into my, shall we say, ink swatch reviews, ink swatch booklet, I don't know. I cut these little samples out of, I originally was doing my ink swatch book in a small pocket-sized notebook. And then as I got more and more into pens and ink, I realized I needed to move into a larger notebook. So I cut these out and glued them in just so I could keep the swatches, because I really like how these little circle swatches look. And then I started doing some reviews on them. Obviously, I didn't do all the reviews because some of these I haven't inked up. And even some of the ones that I have inked up, I didn't finish a review. But something draws me to this green cactus eel from Noodlers. Y'all, how do you say that? Don't laugh at me. Green? Groon. Anyways, something draws me to it, but then I'm like, no, it's too basic. It's too primary of a color. I like things with like something weird, something off, dimension. And I think this is just like a straight up green, but it's kind of cool. Continuing with the small swatches for my pocket notebook. This was one of my first favorite inks, Robert Oster Summer Storm. I've really grown to love Robert Oster inks, and I think it's honestly like one of my favorite brands. Summer Storm is so beautiful, and I really loved this ink because I was inking up one of my pens on a summer day. I chose this ink, and literally as I was putting it in the ink cartridge, like a giant storm broke out, and the whole sky was like cloudy and purple and gray like this with huge billowy clouds, and it truly felt like a magical moment. And I was like, yeah, this ink is meant for me and meant for this moment. The beloved Robert Oster Cafe Crema. I also love Robert Oster African Gold. I don't feel like I've given it a fair shot. I put it in pens that are fairly dry and have finer nibs, and it really didn't get the chance to shine in those. More small ink swatches. I've inked up Diamond Chocolate Brown. It just didn't do it for me. Again, it's like a very flat color, but I do like a rich brown color like that. I think it's because I put it in a finer nib and it really didn't get to truly embody or show off its richness in that finer nib. Diamond Ancient Copper, a beautiful. Here is that Diatramentus Plum that I have inked up right now. Again, this Diatramentus Apple Blossom is so cool. Like, it has a kind of a grayish shading in the middle after it dries. It's got like a light pink and some darker maroony pinks, and then this like weird gray purple shading going on. I just think it's a really beautiful ink and a cool color. Miss me with these inks, y'all. That's all I gotta say. Miss me with them. The extreme sheen never dries. Does anybody like have advice for that? I don't know. I'm not about it. I'll do a slight sheen on an ink. Like, and I do like the way this looks, I guess, but I mean, this is, I don't even want to touch it. I did this, you know, when I first started my ink journey, probably 8, 9, 10 months ago. And I guarantee you, if I ran my finger across that right now, it would smear. I don't like that. This is when I received my first sample delivery from Reddit. Tiger Lily is really cool. I just don't usually go for a lighter, brighter ink, but maybe sometimes during the summer, because it's like a beautiful orangey yellow with like a slight green sheen. Again, that really cool sterling silver. Here's me pulling out my favorites from my Birmingham Pen Co. samples. This was my first Wearing Gold sample order. I ended up loving the Star Child, an orange base with like a dark orange shading and this pinky, purpley, silvery shimmer. It's super pretty. I switched these two. This is the Nightingale and the Rose. This is the Happy Prince. Really love the Happy Prince. Me trying out some larger swatches. I really don't like the way this look. Interesting choice, past Nellie. Interesting choice. Even though Taxidermy Genius, of course, does look very beautiful in this. I just love that like deep pinky purple with that green sheen. Just a slight green sheen, nothing too crazy. Okay, now she's getting real creative. Inking up my new pen, and I tried to draw my brand new Lamy All-Star Fiery Red. I ended up choosing Scribble Purple, I think because we were coming into the month of October, and I thought that it was kind of a spooky color. But I really liked this swatch of Platinum Classic Khaki Black. I thought that shading was really beautiful. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever, everything's fine though. I obviously wrote with a marker here that did not work well over washi tape. It's supposed to say Exploring Inks. I also can't remember who was the original creator of like this swatch design with little clouds and like the little rains eyeballs situation. I don't know. If you do know, tag them down below, and thank you for the idea. Fortune Teller, beautiful. Writer's Blood, beautiful. Are we getting a little bit repetitive? Yes, because I was obsessed with inks, but I hadn't really broadened my collection yet, so I was just swatching the same ones over and over again. This was me choosing an ink for October, I believe. Oh look, exploring the same inks. I received some more Reddit samples. This is where my love affair began with Diamonds Tobacco Sunburst. The shading in this ink is just so beautiful. I do prefer this over Cafe Crema, if I'm being honest. Van Diemen's Lilac Roller Breast. Spelled that wrong, so sorry. I was so excited about this. I love this like baby pink color that's on the bluish side. It's just too light for me. It's got a shimmer to it, which is really beautiful. I don't know, maybe I could like paint with it one day. But it's too light for me to use in my writing. This was my first Kitty ink pot, well, first and only Kitty ink pot ink, and I chose Caramel Almond Waffles. It's super cool. The shading in it is absolutely ridiculous. Like, what's going on there? That's so cool. It's so fun to watch this ink dry. But I don't know, I don't love it in a pen. I have it in a broad nib right now, thinking that would be like the best suited for it, and I don't ever pick it up. So I don't know, maybe I should try it in a finer nib and see how I like it. Diamonds Shimmer Rainbow End. This is a cool ink. I do like the rose gold shimmer in it, but I'm just kind of turned away from that like royal blue base. I guess this one leans a bit more purple than just straight up flat royal blue. Yeah, maybe summertime. Just a different form of swatching my Reddit samples. I really like the way this looks. I think at this point in my ink journal, I was just trying to test out like different swatch methods, and I really liked the way this looks. Look at that Diamond Tobacco Sunburst. Come on, that is so beautiful. Shading is ridiculous. Love it. This was me trying to figure out how to use this godforsaken Lilac Roller Breast ink because I loved it. I loved this light purpley color. I loved the shimmer. So I was trying to add in a few drops of Fuji Sugata by Shaler Shikiori. And I don't know, I did get a deeper color, but it still wasn't right for me. I tried journaling with it a few times and it was just not hitting. So here's my currently inked for October. This looks freaking messy. What are you doing, Nellie? What are you doing? I loved writing, surprisingly, with Van Diemen's Aurora Australis. Other than that, I guess the Maple Leaf Twinkle did pretty good in my Asvine, which is one of my favorite pens. And I don't know, the Celadon Cat did okay in my Kakuno. I guess I just didn't love the color. This, horrible. 0. Tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. Clogged up my Lamy, which it was probably my fault for choosing to put this ink in a fine Lamy Safari. but I didn't know any better at the time, okay? Here are some more samples from Vanessa. I got my hands on Opera Rose by Teranishi Guitar, Khaki by Robert Oster, which quickly became one of my very, 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 very favorite inks, and that is definitely on my full bottle list. Grun Guilt by Robert Oster. I haven't inked up yet, but I actually looked at inking that up this month, and I'm sure I will soon. Rose Gold Antiqua. Let me tell you something about this freaking ink, and you'll see later in the journal. I tried inking this up in my brand new, just got for Christmas, Lamy All-Star in like the rose gold color. Hello, rose gold, rose gold. It was gonna be perfect. This mug clogged that thing up so freaking bad. It still has shimmer in the feed. I can't get it out. I've soaked it. I've used a tiny bit of dish soap. I've freaking shook it up. I've like ran water through the feed. Rose Gold Antiqua, I have a freaking bounty out for your head, okay? Yule Log by Diamine is pretty. It's pretty. It's just boring to me. It's giving boring. Ferris Wheel Press, Sugar and Spite. This color is crazy. A bright, punchy magenta with like a pinky bronze rose gold shimmer. I've yet to ink this up because, again, I've been kind of all about like the muted, grungy, weird, off, darker, gothy colors. But I think I will eventually, and I have a feeling that I'll like writing with this, maybe in the summertime. Here's me testing out some writing samples with my new inks. This is Hades from Wearing Gold, and I'm really excited to use this. Oh yes, this swatch style, very satisfying, Nellie, very satisfying. That Robert Oster Khaki is giving me life. That Diamine Tobacco giving me life. The Sailor Yamadori, of course, again, like a silent killer. I love that color. This Jupiter Vortex makes me so sad because it's such a beautiful swatch. It's such a beautiful color with that like underneath poopy green, weird green color, and then the tiny sheen, and then the shimmer and a little bit of shading. I really like that color. I need to try it again in a pen that maybe it'll work better in. Rose Gold Antiqua, count your days. Hey now! Diamine Ink Vent 2025. Here are my Diamine Ink Vent inks, which of course I opened every single one on the day that it arrived and swatched them all on that same day. I actually did intend to try and use it as it is intended, one day at a time, but you know, I gave in. So some of my very favorites from this year's ink vent. Celestial Skies, beautiful. And that's what's got me thinking that I really would like Emerald Chabor from what y'all? You know, Jacques Urban. I really like Frostbite. It's like a deep royal, but navy-ish, like deeper than royal blue, with a gold-ish shimmer and like a red-ish sheen. It's a really cool ink, and I actually have this inked up right now, and I am enjoying it. It's not my favorite, but I do enjoy it. Ruby Taffeta, yes. Boo, 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 boo. Love it. So beautiful. I had this inked up in my Lamy All-Star Fiery Red medium nib for December, I think, and it was like literally a match made in heaven. It was so beautiful. I'm excited to give Marie Rose a run. I've tried Fur and Fog. I know this is like a fan favorite from this year's ink vent, and it was beautiful in the swatches. It's like a forest green with maybe some like muted blue hues in there, and it does have a shimmer, which you can't really see that well in this swatch. I think it's a silver shimmer, but I put that mug in my actually I have it right here, in my Jinhao 10 that was supposed to be a gift for my sister for Christmas. But I quickly realized that I freaking hate this pen. Like, I tried Fur and Fog in there first, and don't get me wrong, it wrote beautifully. I like the nib, it's smooth. I like the mechanism, the click mechanism, but it dried up like right away. I wasn't sure if I was having issues with like clogging shimmer in it or what have you. So after I tried Fur and Fog, I was like, all right, let me try with like a tried and true ink. that I know works well. It doesn't have shimmer. So I put Diamine Oxblood in here. After a day, it was freaking dry. It was so annoying. So I did not give Fur and Fog a great test run. I need to ink it up in something else. And if anybody has the same, if anybody has had the same experience with their Jinhao 10, which I think a lot of people have, as far as I've seen online, I don't know, just let me know and let's commiserate together. Because I love the way it feels. It's a heavy pen. It feels nice. I love the mechanism. I like this pearly white color. I like the way it writes. But what the hell? If you can't write with it after you don't pick it up for a day because all of the ink is dry, what's the point? What's the point, Jinhao? Anyways, I digress. This is when I went to my first pen and ink meetup, the Pelican Hub in my city. So Pelican Hub 2025. This was the ink of the year, which, Lord, what was it even called, y'all? Like apricot, okay, apricot, ashot? You let me know. I tried out a bunch of different like fancy pens. It was fun to like test out some different fancy pens and talk to some people about pens that they love and inks that they love and nerd out with some people. This was my first time trying the Kakimori in person. I got to try a Kakimori brass and a Kakimori steel, and I was like, I have to have it. And it went on my wish list, and I did eventually get the Kakimori for Christmas. It was lovely. So yeah, testing out some different inks. I did receive, they had like a, you know, a sample share table, and I did grab 2 of them. I grabbed a sample of Diamine Soft Mint, which is actually really pretty. Like, this is not my type of color, but this is beautiful. Haven't inked it up, but very pretty. And then the infamous Platinum Citrus Black, which goes down a, wait, y'all, which way does it go down? It goes down black and then it turns yellow, or it goes down yellow and it turns black. One of the two. Very fun, very cool, very unique. Here are me listing out some of my Advent favorites. Again, Frostbite, yes. Ruby Taffeta, yes. Celestial Skies, yes. For each ink, I was assigning a score, listing my setup, and then giving a short summary. I really didn't give myself enough space here. I should have spread these out more, obviously, as you can tell by the crampedness of the page. 10 out of 10s were my Robert Oster Khaki and my Lamy Safari Fine Nib. That was my only 10 out of 10. That's sad. 9 out of 10 for Diamine Writer's Blood and my Lamy All-Star. I wonder why. Look, I just didn't want to give a 10 out of 10, y'all. I was being stingy because I said this pairing was a match made in heaven. Super satisfying flow. Loved the color combo. And a 9? Why, girl? Why? Obviously, I was just getting an itch to swatch some things, so I did so. And my November currently inked. Diamine Ancient Copper. This, Lord, this combo right here, sheesh. In the Aspian P20, beautiful. My beloved Diamine Tobacco Starburst. This writing sample does not do it justice. I don't think it had settled into the pen yet. I did not use this enough, my Birmingham Pinco Sugar Kelp. I think I just didn't grab for it because it's not my usual and it doesn't really fit my aesthetic. But it honestly worked so well, and when I was doing my recap, I was like, what the heck? This did not get its flowers that it deserved. And then the Happy Prince from Wearing Gold in my Twisby Eco, and I used this combo a lot. This was me trying to figure out what I wanted to ink up for December. Spelled options wrong, love that. I was testing out some inks that I think would fit well in a fine nib, and then some inks that I think would fit well in a medium nib. So obviously my fine nib options are gonna be without shimmer, and my medium nib are gonna have some shimmer, baby. And then these were my chosen 3. I decided to pare it down because in the months past, I was choosing like 5, 6, 7 inks, I think. And that's just too much. Like, I do journal every day, but I'm not writing a freaking novel, you know? Like, I I found it overwhelming. I felt like I was not giving enough love to certain combinations and like favoring others, and then they were getting wasted and what have you. I feel like 3 was a good number to know that like I was going to use each of them and really to test out how I like them. So I chose my Diamine Inkvent Ruby Taffeta, my Diamond Inkvent Celestial Skies, and my Diamine Chocolate Brown, my Lamy All-Star, my TWSBI Eco, and my Coeco Sport. This was me trying to ink up this godforsaken Jinhao 10, which I was so excited about. And I wrote about in my little excerpt here that I got this pen for my sister Clara for Christmas, but I was like, maybe I'll keep it because I think I like it so much. Little did I know that neither of us were going to get this pen. I mean, I guess I still have it, but I don't use the mug because it sucks. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. So I was trying to choose an ink for this. I ended up going with Diamine Fur and Fog because it was so beautiful. And yeah, so this is my first writing sample with that pen, and it looks really good. I love the width of the nib. I liked the way the ink went down, but she just dried up right away, which was not cool. Testing out my Kakimori brass nib for the first time. I don't love how the swatches look so sharp. I don't know if that's the right word, but like I like my edges to be more rounded, which I do get that effect when I use my glass cocktail stirrer. So I was like, okay, I need to practice with this more because I don't really love the way that looks. But I had fun doing the line widths and doing like some little doodles and trying to work with the right angle of the Kakimori brass nib. Yeah. This was just a list of things I was inking up at that time. Here's my December ink recap, which was honestly a great month for my pen and ink combos because these two were amazeballs, okay? They worked so well in the pens I chose them. I loved them in my spreads. I thought they were super like festive. And then the Diamine Chocolate Brown, 4 out of 10. Like, it's all right. It's giving me not much. I just don't really think I like my Coeco Sport that much. It's super light. I actually have it right here. And I ended up taking my clip off and putting it on my Kakuno because I like this pen way more than I like my Coeco Sport, which is kind of funny because this is much cheaper. I guess not much cheaper, but yeah, like my Coeco Sport is just so light. It doesn't feel substantial. It's a pretty dry writer, which I don't really appreciate because I feel like it doesn't work with a lot of inks that I want to use. It's a fine nib, so obviously I can't put shimmer in there. Yeah, so I don't know. I wasn't super happy with this pairing, and I don't know if it's because of the ink. I don't know if it's because of the pen. Maybe a little bit of both. I digress. Here's some more practice with my Kakimori. Again, this is my most recent swatch page. Yeah, just having fun with trying to figure out how I like using my Kakimori. I love doing the line widths. Like, you really have to focus, and I like that, the need for attention to detail. I'm liking this Grun Gilt. My 2 words to describe it were Swamp Princess. Come on now. That ain't me. So that is it for this section of my ink journal, which are my swatches. And I think that's enough, ladies and gents. I think that's enough. That was quite a bit. And this is my first video, so I'm scared to have to go through and edit this footage. But this is the type of shit that I love. So I'm super happy to just be making videos about things that I geek out about and I like to talk about, and I like to watch other videos of other people talking about them. Thank you so much for joining me for my first video here on the tube. I would love to make more videos, depending on how difficult and annoying it is for me to edit this video, which I'm hoping it'll be fun. But, you know, it's kind of hard to hear yourself talk, so we'll see. I would love to do a what's in my Sula bag. I would love to do a flip through of my Hobonichi weeks. I would love to do a flip through of my Stalogy daily journal. I would love to look through my pens together. Yeah, I've got ideas. So we'll see where this goes, and I hope you have a lovely day. I hope you stay warm and stay safe, and I hope you continue to bring your spunk and sparkle to the world. Peace out.